Spoilers for Season 6, Episode 3 of The Expanse, and all that came before, yee! So it turns out the little dog thing on Laconia has some kind of strange power. Maybe he is a strange dog? And it looks like the dog somehow repaired the little girl's drone and then resurrected the pterodactyl thing that the girl poisoned by mistake. She is overjoyed and returns home only to find her brother dead. If I remember correctly, he was struck by a truck when running through the forest. It's been ages since I've read the book. I mean, the novella that this prologue story is based on came out like 4 years ago now, so anyway, this kid is dead, but we know the magic dog thing brings things back to life, so like, are we gonna get some sort of pet cemetery thing going on here? I don't know, it's kind of spooky. We'll have to wait till the next episode to find out, but I mean, that's pretty fucking obvious what's gonna happen, in my opinion. Meanwhile, Earth's forces, and what's left of Mars's forces, the Inners, in other words, raid Ceres Station only to find that it has been largely abandoned by Marco and the Free Navy, and also stripped. Like, Marco and the Free Navy just took about everything of value: food, ammo, technology. They stripped all the computers and shit, fucking everything, leaving the citizens of Ceres with only enough supplies for about 3 weeks: food and water and oxygen and whatnot. In the book, I think there was meant to be 6 million people on Ceres. Maybe that changed as the stories went on, as the years progressed. In the show, I think they said at this time there's about 1 million people on Ceres, which is a lot of people who are now going to starve thanks to Marco abandoning them, which is a total dick move. As he said, Ceres was going to be the Belter capital, the home of the free, etc, etc, and now he has fucked off with all their supplies, proving Sandrani right. Marco only cares for the glory of battle. This Marco guy really is a soggy bit of toast with smeg on it. More on that in a bit. The Marco battle plan, that is not the smeg. So now that the Inners once again control Ceres, Avasarala feels it necessary to supply the people of Ceres with food, so you know, they don't all starve to death and die from the death. A relief fund of sorts, if you will. This is controversial for a few reasons. Number one, it will cause animosity back on Earth and Luna because they are already struggling with resources due to the bombing of Earth, and many feel like they shouldn't waste their valuable resources on the so-called enemy, these so-called terrorists, when they are already struggling enough as it is. Number two, this will tie up Earth's forces once again, meaning Marco can slip away and fortify his position elsewhere in the belt. And number three, if they abandon the people on Ceres, likely this will prove to the Belters that the Inners don't really give a shit about them, otherwise why would they let millions of people starve? And the whole hideous cycle will go on and on forever, and this will strengthen Marco's position even more if the Earthers let Ceres people die. And honestly, this was Marco's plan all along. He said that they probably couldn't hold Ceres if Earth and Mars and the Inners attacked, and he knew, or hoped at least, that Earth would not abandon the people of Ceres, and thus it would tie up their forces and resources once again while he fucks off to Medina Station to fortify his position elsewhere. A lot of the Belters, however, have turned against Marco since his abandonment, if you will, calling him a coward, as they see him fleeing Ceres Station as a form of like some sort of cowardly retreat. Marco explains to his son Philip that they simply cannot fathom the grand picture. He told the Belters on Ceres what they needed to hear, or so he believes. History will prove him right, righteous even, and blah 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 blah. He's a dickhead. On the way to Medina, Marco gets a whiff of the Rocinante's drive smell and makes a slight detour. The Rossi is on course to Ceres to join up with the Earth's forces, and Marco is advised against attacking the Rossi as it will take them off course and set them back an X amount of time, and it's just really not worth it. They should stay on course, get to Medina Station and hunker down. But Marco, wrapped up in the deadly veneer of vengeance, decides to attack the Rossi anyway. He is convinced that with his 3 large ships, the Rossi, despite having a railgun, is no match for his force. They attack, and wouldn't you know, the Rossi's railgun saves the day, with some really awesome piloting and strategy from everyone on board the Rossi. The Rossi gang temporarily disable Marco's ship and launch some missiles at it. Seconds before impact, Marco gives Holden a buzz on the phone and tactfully shows Holden and Naomi that Philip is on board. Like, thus if you kill me, you kill Philip, you kill Naomi's son. He's really using his son like in a very malicious way here. At the last second, Holden disables the missile, and even though it strikes the Pella, Marco's ship, it doesn't detonate. Holden doesn't want to be responsible for the death of Naomi's son and disables the missile in secret, at least for now. The crew thinks the missile is a dud, at least for now. This will come back later on, hint hint, wink wink, and Marco's ship reboots, and then he pisses off. I tell you what, that fucking railgun, that's a good investment, mate. That's paid for itself already. You couldn't buy the materials for that. In the books, this all happened very similarly. but the gang was actually transporting Fred Johnson, who during this exchange actually dies from a stroke, similar to how Alex died last season. And even though Marco lost the battle and is super pissed off, they later find out that Fred died, and thus they take this exchange as a win. In the show, however, Fred is already dead, and thus this battle was just a straight up loss for Marco, for which he takes it out on his son because he's a fucking cunt. After berating his son, Marco gets a message from Medina's station. Some kind of new deadly ship or deadly weapon, something deadly anyway, has arrived from Laconia through the Laconia gate, and Marco's eyes light up. This whole time, he has seemingly just been biding his time, waiting for the Laconians, who he has a trade agreement with to some extent, to deliver on their end of the bargain. Remember, he gave the rogue Martians, the Laconians, the proto-molecule, and some kind of deal was struck. We assume now that a part of the deal was some kind of super advanced ship or weapon or something along those lines. I can't say too much on this just yet. You will just have to stay tuned, my folks, but I assure you, it will be fun. Another thing that happens during this episode is some kind of terrorist attack on Ceres. It kills a bunch of people and fucks up Earth's resources even more. Was this a planned attack from Marco, like some kind of booby trap, something that he rigged up before he left? Or was it some kind of OPA or Belter resistance, or was it an Earth thing? And maybe it was an Earther thing saying like, we shouldn't be supplying Ceres, fuck the Belters, we need our resources on Earth. At this stage, we don't really know, but either way, it's pretty fucking shit because Earth desperately needs all the ships they can get, and some of them were destroyed in this attack or at least damaged, and a lot of resources were fired out there. It looks like a ton of water and a shitload of resources, so Earth's going to have to spend a lot of time and resources fixing this situation before they can run on after Marco. Classic terrorism. So while all this is going down, the mighty Drum is still out and about trying to recruit bad motherfuckers to her resistance, for lack of a better word, and the rest of the Golden Bough, the ones who broke away from Marco earlier, have agreed to join up. Drummer's forces and powers grow. This is good, as Earth is struggling to keep its shit together, but at least Drummer is managing to get some ships together and some people to fight for the righteous cause. There's a bit of emotional back and forth between the crew and other people, but one of the more interesting exchanges is between Naomi and Holden. Holden is still trying to figure out what is eating the ships when they pass through the ring gate, you know, the ring ghosts and all that crap. And Naomi has a lead. She found a pattern within the ring gates that shows when the ships are disappearing. The data is limited at this stage, so they still don't know why or how exactly the rings are eating the ship, but it's a step in the right direction. She's found a pattern. So once they get more data, this is going to be pretty sweet. In fact, like I said last time, this is going to be very exciting in upcoming episodes. This is not for nothing. And really, that's pretty much for episode 3. I mean, it was fucking excellent action, a great episode, but there wasn't heaps to explain here. So, hey, look, there's only 3 fucking episodes left, and I am fucking pumped. I am stiff as. What did you guys think about episode 3? Leave a comment and let's get a friendly discussion going. Okay, I love you, bye.